Hello friends, welcome back to Go Tutorials. It has been a long while since we meet up with Golang tutorials. We are done with the first set of videos which contains almost all the basic concepts we have covered in our Golang tutorials. In this new set, I'm going to resume the Go video tutorial series. So we are going to see some advanced concepts. So regularly I'm going to post the videos. I will keep on adding the contents to the new set of Golang tutorials. But this time we are going to cover some advanced concepts. So far we have covered the fundamentals and almost all the features of Go language. From now onwards, from this video onwards, we are going to see advanced concepts of Go language. Okay, let's get started. I am opening the terminal, maximizing for better readability. Yeah, it's good. So I am creating a folder, go demo cd go demo. So now opening the editor. Today the first thing we are going to see is about some basic file operations, how we are going to write to a file. So already we have seen many ways of files, buffers and other more stuff related to the file operations. But today it is yet another file operation. I am starting with pico filedemo.go package main import. So this time we are going to see the package ioutil. This is the package we are going to see today. Now let us get started with the function main. Inside main, I'm going to create a file. So this file I'm going to create with some permissions. So far we have seen creating a text file, writing the data into it, appending the data, and lot more things we have done. I am giving the reference in the I button above. Please check it. Already we have seen many types and many options regarding the file operations. Today I am going to introduce you one more way of file operation, creating a file with some permissions. So while creating a file itself, we are going to provide a permission. Based on the permission, the file will be created in the file system. Right. So in order to write some data to the file, I need a variable declared here. So I am going to declare an array of bytes. So I am going to say something like welcome. Yeah. So this is the byte array I declared. I am going to write this byte array into the file. Now going to declare an error handler for the file. Yeah. So we are using the ioutil package here. The function we are going to use is ioutil.WriteFile. So what we are going to do here, we are going to write data to the file directly. So earlier what we did, we created a file, we opened it, we wrote some data and then closed it. But this is a single short circuit operation in which a single line we used to open, create, write and close the file. I will show you how to do this. So write file. Now I need to give the path for the file. So I'm giving the path as home Ambasoft desktop. So I'm going to create a file in the desktop. I'm going to name the file as sample. I'm just going to name it as sample. if needed, sample.txt. Yeah, so I will make it a bit smaller. Yep. Yeah, it is readable now, right? Okay. Sample.txt. So I'm going to create a file named sample.txt. What I'm going to write inside this file? I am going to write the byte array, which is data, right? There is one more argument for the WriteFile function which carries the file permission. So what is file permission? It is basically completely on Unix based file permissions. So there is a numbering convention through which you can define the file permissions. I will share you certain numbers for frequently used permissions. You just follow them. To begin with, I will follow a permission code which is 0100. So this statement creates a file named sample.txt in my desktop with the data given here in the byte array. The file sample.txt will be created with the permission 0100. What does the 0100 will do? We will see in a short while. Okay, so now this statement creates a file, and if there is an error in file creation, it will return the error handle back to err. Now we need to handle the error. So how we are going to handle the error? If err not equal to nil, as usual in the previous sessions we have seen in many videos, right? The same way we are following this. Panic err. Done. It is a very simple program. So I am doing file operations only. So I am naming ioutil package is being imported. Nice. Save and exit. Now I am going to compile. So how to compile and run? Go run filedemo.go. I will zoom it a bit for you. Yeah. Compiled and the file is done. It is been executed. Now we need to check the desktop. What's there in the desktop? See here. Okay, so now the file got executed. Let us check the desktop whether a file named sample.txt is created. Yeah, so ls is the command inside home Ambasoft desktop. Yes, sample.txt is created. So the file is created. We need to check the permissions. So how to check file permissions in Linux? ls with the flag -ltr, it shows the permissions. See here, the permission X is given to the file sample.txt. So what is the permission code we have used? We used the permission code 0100. This is the permission code we have used. This permission code represents execute permission. So that's why the keyword we have seen while checking the permission as X. 0100 is the permission of executable permission given to the file sample.txt. Let us check the content of the file sample.txt. Cat the whole path with sample.txt. See here, the permission is denied for us because this file has neither read permission nor write permission. If the file has a read permission, then we can see the content of the file. Since the file is only executable, we cannot see the content of the file, and hence we got the permission denied message. Now I am going to change the code a little bit different with 200 0200. Yeah, now I am going to remove the file and rm. Yep, deleted the file. Now I am going to rerun the same program. Go run filedemo.go. Done with this. This time I am going to check the file permissions. This time the file has the write permission. There is no executable or read permissions either. Even if you try with the read permission using cat, you get the same permission denied message, but this time it is because of write only file. You can write the content, but you cannot read. Let us change it furthermore using 0300. This 200 is for write only. 0, 100 is for execute only, whereas 200 is for write only. I am making it as 0300. Save it. As usual, I am going to delete the file. Yeah. Now what we are going to do, we are going to run the code again. Go run file demo. Executed. Checking the permission of the file using ls-ltr. This time it is writable and executable. Still, this is not having the read flag. So now even if you try a cat command, the permission is denied for you. So this time 300 gives you a write and executable permission. Still, you cannot read the file. So I am going to change it again. So 300 is for write and execute. I'm going to change this as 400 now. Let us see what does it does. I'm going to remove the file, run. Let us clear the screen. Yeah. Now I am going to go run file demo. The file is created. I'm going to check the permissions this time. You can see read permission is here. R. This means the file is now readable. So what I can do, I can use the cat command sample.txt. It returned the string welcome which we have written earlier. Okay. Now since this file is not having write permission, we try to edit the file manually. Yeah. So instead of cat, I am opening it using pico to edit it further. Let us see what happens. See here. File home blah 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 sample.txt is unwritable. So already the editor understands the file doesn't have any write permissions and it is not permitting you to write. So even if you try to edit it, add something and save and exit, yes, permission is denied for you. So you cannot save the file at any cost. You can edit it, but you cannot save or commit your changes. That means the file is only read only. So I am exiting without save. So this is the content of the file which you can read, but you cannot write. So we need to ensure that 400 is for read only. So you can create a file with read only permissions using the code 400, making it one step better now to 500. Save. Yes. I'm going to remove the same file now. Yes. Clear the screen. Go run file demo. File is created. This time we are checking the permission. It has read and executable. So if you are creating some text file with some shell commands or any other executable commands, you can execute that file after the creation. That means the executable permissions will be applied on the file by default along with read permissions. So that is what the code 500 says. So the code 500 says read and execute. Let us make it 600. Yeah. 600. What does it say? I will remove the file. Yeah. Now I'm compiling again. Okay. Now checking the permissions. See here, now we got both read and write permissions. So what we can do, we can use the same cat command as we did earlier to check the content. Yes, the content is there. Now we are about to edit the file. So how to edit? I am using the same pico. Pico. The file is now editable. So what I am going to do, welcome to golang. I am just editing it, adding a to golang to the welcome string. Save it. Yes. Yes. Done. So I saved the content. If you check cat, our edited string is appearing here. So that means you can read the content of the file as well as write it explicitly. That means read, write. Both the permissions are applied to the file sample.txt. Right. So usually, sorry. Yeah. So let us go to the code again. 600 will help you with readable and writable file. Read and write. So this is the mode we used to have many times. Usually we used to have this as our regular mode. One more mode we are going to try now, which is 700, 0700. What does it stands? Let us check again. I will remove the file now, clear the screen, go run file demo. Now let us check the permissions. Earlier we had read and write, but this time we have execute is also added. So all three together, read, write, executable, all these things we have seen so far individually or in combination with any two. Now by applying the permission 700, we implemented all these permissions. We applied all these permissions collectively to the file. So this file can be read, yeah, and also this file can be edited using pico. You can edit it, and also if there are any commands inside the file, you can execute as well. So let us go back to the code and have a glance of it and say add our comment here. 700 stands for read, write and execute permissions. So this is a very simple example which explains you creating a file in a single shot in a single line using the WriteFile function carrying three arguments. The first one is the whole path in which the file needs to be created. The second argument is the byte array of your data. So you can add anything, all these your strings needed for your data, and you can consider it as a byte array, pass it as a parameter here. And the final parameter you need to pass is the permission. So what permission you are going to provide, what kind of file you are going to create. So at the time of creation you may add some data if someone is not supposed to edit it and all, so you can just keep a read-only file with 400. Like this you have varieties of combinations among the three major permissions: read, write and execute. So you can choose whatever you wish as per your need. So this is the first part of our demonstration today. Let us get into the next thing. So we are going to see some temporary files now. So how to create temporary files. So far we have seen how to create regular files, reading, writing and all, right? Fine. Now we are going to create a temporary directory. So what we can do, temp demo. I'm going to create a file called pico tempdemo.go. So I'm going to zoom for better readability while writing code. So package main, the same way I'm going to import for you. So here what I'm going to do, the same thing what we did earlier, io/ioutil package, and I need to do some file operations here later, so I need a OS package as well. Yeah, so two packages I have imported here, ioutil and os. Let's get into main. Yep, so this is the main I have written. Yeah, so now I'm going to use ioutil dot. There is a function inside ioutil which is called as temp directory. So tempdir. So this is the function we need to use to create a temp directory. So we need to pass two arguments. One is the path in which the temporary directory needs to be created. So I am going to use the same path, home Ambasoft desktop. This is the path in which I am going to create a temporary directory, and I need to provide a naming pattern for the temporary directory. I am going to name it as mytemp. So this is the name I am providing for, yeah, mytemp. I am going to name it as mytemp. Yes. So as usual, this temp directory returns, this tempdir function returns two handles for us. One is the actual directory handle. The another one is, as everyone knows, error handle. So both the handles will be returned. Now we are going to handle the error. If error not equal to nil, send a panic of error. Okay, yeah, panic of error. So this is not like a WriteFile method earlier we have seen. So the WriteFile method earlier we had seen takes care of creating, writing and closing everything, right? But this time this is a file, this is a directory we are creating, not a file. But once created a directory, we need to take care of clearing the temporary directories. Usually in any operating system we used to create temporary directories and clear them time to time. So this clearance also needs to be taken care manually. Let us look on the clearance part later. First we will see how this directory is created. Okay, right. So for that, for time being, I don't need the OS package. I am committing it out, or better I will remove it. I will include it later. So I need ioutil package. That's enough for me. I don't need the directory handle as well. So I'm going to keep it as an empty handle. So error handle I'm handling here. So my aim is to create a temporary directory with the naming convention mytemp under the folder home Ambasoft desktop. Right. Save. Go run temp demo. Compilation is done and it got executed. Now if I check the desktop, you can see a file named mytemp with a suffix is created. So since it is a temporary directory, it creates some random, it generates a random number suffix and included it along with the file name. The pattern in which we said is mytemp. It will be followed with some auto-generated number. I'm going to repeat the step again. Go run temp demo. Now checking the desktop, you have one more file created here. You see, since these things are temporary directories, we need to take care of clearing them, deleting them, removing them from the system. So every execution of this particular Go file will result in creating a temporary directory for you. So you can get inside the directory as you wish, and you can create the files inside if you are interested. Otherwise, you can ignore this temp file and you can delete it. The same way how you used to do in your regular work. So I'm going back to my Go demo folder. I'm checking the desktop. So I'm going to check the desktop. You can see here these two files or the two directories. I'm going to delete them. Yeah. Right. So I have manually deleted those files here. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my Go program to create a temporary directory and clean it on the flow. That means clearing the temporary directory also will be handled by the Go program. So the same code. In order to clear the file, I need a OS package. I need the directory handle. So how to clear a file? I can use the differ statement. os package contains something called RemoveAll. It deletes the entire hierarchy of directories. So I am giving the dir object. So what the code will do now? The code will create a directory, create a temp directory with the name pattern starts with mytemp and assigns the handle to dir variable. Once the program gets executed and exited, immediately the temporary directory will be removed. So we don't need to take care of removing the temporary directory explicitly. Let us see how it works. Go run temp demo. Done. Now we are checking the desktop, or you can even do an ls here. See, nothing is there. So in our desktop, no temp directory is created. You can check here. In the desktop, no file is there. That's about it. So that is about creating temporary directories. So you can create temp directories, but remember to remove it. You have to remove it. Remove directories manually. This is to create a temporary directory, right? So this statement or this file is to create temporary directory. Now we are going to see how to create a temporary file inside anywhere, wherever the directory. It may be inside a temporary directory or in our root directory or in our desktop, wherever we wish, we can create a temporary file. So we are going to create a file, add some content to a file, but that file will be added as a temporary file. But remember, the temporary file we are going to create also should be removed manually. It won't be wiped off automatically. Similar to the directories, the same rules applicable for the files as well. Right. Let's get started with that. So I'm going to copy the same file tempdemo.go to temp filedemo.go. Now pick pico temp filedemo.go. Here I am going to get started. So earlier for creating a directory we have used tempdir, right? Now we are going to do temp file. So it also returns two handles. One handle is for the file and another handle is the error handle. Okay. Regarding the arguments, the same style of arguments will be applicable here. First is the location in which the temporary directory needs to be, temporary file needs to be created, and the another is the file name pattern. Here the pattern is mytemp. The same pattern we are using, the same location we are using here, but this time we are creating a file, right? So once we create a file, we have to remove manually. So instead of removing a file, how to remove a file here? This remove all is for the directory. In order to remove a file, we need to provide the file name. So how to provide? There is a file handle f carrying name. Okay, so before removing it, let us start with just creating a file alone. Okay, so this OS package is not needed and the file handle is also not needed. So when you run this file now, it will create a temporary file for you. It is an empty temporary file. We are not writing anything into it. Let us check in the desktop after running the code. So how to run it? Go run temp file demo executed. Now what I'm going to do, going to check cat, sorry, ls home Ambasoft desktop. See here, my temp is created. So we need to check whether it's a file or a directory. Let us go to desktop and see. See here, this is a normal file, not a directory as we did earlier. So the same naming convention with some numbers suffixed is created here. Right. So now we have created a temporary file, but if you check the cat command, you don't have any content because the file is empty. Yeah. So this is how we have created a temporary file. Now what I am going to do, how I'm going to enable the delete command we disabled earlier, right? So then we will check how a temporary file is created on the fly and wiped away. So I need a OS package, defer os.remove is the function for removing a file, but this time for a file the handle needs to be provided. F is the file handle dot name. So we need to provide the file name. It will give a unique entire file name with the path and then it will remove it. So this is for remove file manually. Exiting it. So let us see. This is our desktop, which is the old file we have created. When I compile and run the code again, there should not be any file because the code itself takes care of creating the file and wiping it away. So go run. That's it. So if you check ls, no file is created. Even in the desktop, you cannot see any file. Any file is there. So everything is empty because it is because the statement we have added here to remove the file manually. So these are all the three concepts for the day. For the video, the first thing is creating a file in a single line with the content and permissions mentioned explicitly. The another one is creating a temporary directory, and the final one just now we have seen is for a temporary file creation. Hope these things added value for your Go language knowledge you have collected so far. Keep on watching these videos. I will be updating a lot more new advanced concepts frequently. So let us meet in the next video. Add your comments or any suggestions, whatever you feel, in the comment section below. Take care. See you then. Bye.